Situated on the border between Saint-Germain-des-Prés and the Latin Quarter, the Luxembourg Gardens is the most eccentric, popular, and beautiful park in Paris. Covering 57 acres and known for their beautiful flower beds, tranquil fountains, tree-lined promenades, and romantic sculptures. The park's northern boundary is dominated by the Luxembourg Palace. In 1610, following King Henry IV being assassinated in a religious conflict between Catholics and Protestants, his second wife, Marie de' Medici, who was a Florence native, became the regent for their 9-year-old son, Louis XIII. Having ascended to a much more powerful position and feeling nostalgic about her childhood memory, she decided to build a new palace for herself, similar to her native Florence's Petit Palace. As a result, the Luxembourg Palace was erected, taking its name from Duke François Luxembourg, who previously owned the land. Around the same time, Marie de' Medici also began to build gardens surrounding the palace, in a similar style of the Barboli Gardens of her native Florence. The massive building is symmetrical and appears regal. Over the years, it's been used to house artwork. Today, it's home to the French Senate. The gardens is the style of Italian Baroque, and its signature focus is imposing order on nature, making the Luxembourg Gardens picture-perfect any time of year. In 17th century in Paris, artworks of Florence were extremely popular, thanks to the rise of the Italian Renaissance, which influenced many cultural aspects of the French society. Music, literature, science, technology, and architecture. The House of Medici, from which the Queen Marie de' Medici came from, originated in Tuscany, a central region in Italy, and began to achieve prominence in Florence through banking in the first half of the 15th century. They went on to become the wealthiest and the most powerful family in Europe for nearly 300 years. Using their family wealth, they supported many prominent artists during the Italian Renaissance, including Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo da Vinci. Not only did the Medici lay the foundation, but also made Florence the center of Italian Renaissance, ushering in a new era in Europe. The Luxembourg Gardens, with such a distinctive style and a timeless beauty, were built with the heavy Italian Renaissance influence. The Luxembourg Gardens contain 106 most magnificent and romantic works of sculpture in Paris. 20 of them are French queens, saints, and famous women whose lives and works left marks in French history. Classical statues from Roman and Greek mythology are everywhere. You'll find Venus, the goddess Diana, and Vulcan, god of fire, holding his helmet and hammer. Elsewhere, there are nymphs, cherubs, and satyrs. A smaller Lady Liberty, which mirrors the Statue of Liberty in New York, is standing on a pedestal surrounded by greenery, a pleasant reminder that the American version was a gift from France and designed by a French sculptor. The most fascinating and dramatic sculptures can be seen at Medici Fountain, a picturesque site in the east of the gardens. It tells a story from Greek mythology, in which the beautiful nymph Galatea and handsome Acis were making love by the pond, while Polyphemus, the son of Poseidon, a giant who was in love with Galatea, menacingly looking over them with jealousy and rage. In the Luxembourg Gardens, the largest and the most beautiful gardens in Paris, you will find groomed trees, ironed and pressed walkways, sculpted flower beds, immaculate emerald lawns, and the most romantic and alluring sculptures. The classic French beauty and elegance inspire admiration. They were created 400 years in the past by the French Queen Marie de Medici, who was born in Florence's wealthiest and most privileged family. She traveled to Paris to marry the French king Henry IV at age of 25 as a result of complicated financial and political arrangements and diplomatic negotiations. At the peak of her reign, she was the most powerful woman in Europe. She died at age 67 after being banished from France by her son, Louis XIII. In her life, she was embroiled in palace power struggles and her husband's numerous infidelities and assassination. Deep in her heart, she was still a child, a daughter, nostalgic about the most beautiful and peaceful gardens and palaces that she had lived in her faraway hometown.